People in this country are burning the Quran. There was one gentleman in particular that did it online in Manchester. He's been arrested. He's been charged for burning the Quran. And the Manchester police force has found it fit to publicly name him and publicly confirm where he lives, this, that, and the other, which is dangerous given that certain sections of society turn very violent when you burn the Quran. But this happened to a schoolboy aged 15 over the last couple of days. He was killed at school during a knife attack. And there's a big, massive cover up with that, even though the internet seems to have unmasked the perpetrator. And I think you guys can all guess what kind of perpetrator this person was. It's like Southport terrorist attack all over again. They call the Southport terror attack just the Southport killings. But no, it's a Southport terrorist attack because the evil bastard that was done for it got done for terrorist charges as well, found guilty for terrorist charges. He had an Al-Qaeda manual on him. He had ricin on him. Dude was radicalized. They're trying to cover up the grooming gang scandal by blocking an inquiry from happening. They are now trying to set up an Islamophobia council to dictate to us what Islamophobia is, what we can say, what we can't say. Like, freedom of speech was shit over here, but it's getting even worse now. We had a teacher in Yorkshire who showed to the class, I think it was like a picture of Muhammad. She's still in hiding to this day under police protection because it was that bad. As I've said, there's a lot going on in the UK, and so that's where really the focus is at the moment. Focusing on what's going on in the UK and trying to get the word out and doing what I can to help with the revolution that needs to happen now. We need a revolution. We need change. We need reform. Our rights, our free speech rights, our rights as a country, our rights to be able to criticise, freedom of speech, the whole lot is going down the drain faster than you can say freaking Donald Trump. But some of the stuff that I release on Political Nerds could be viewed by the government as somewhat illegal, and I could go to jail. Because if the government turns around and is like, oh, your video is hurty, I could go to jail. I would go to jail just for speaking out. I could go to jail just for saying what I'm saying right now.
Really?
Yeah. In the UK at the government is releasing murderers, rapists, because our prisons are overfilled at the moment, and they're trying to make space to put in jail those that have shared tweets or tweeted out against the government or against a certain section of society that the government consider a hurty. And people are getting jailed for like 1, 2, 3 years. There was one gentleman, poor man, he got jailed, I think, for 3 years. He hung himself in prison. You know, starting my channel, Political Nerds, the last month, and releasing what I'm releasing, and even saying what I'm saying now, you know, I am potentially putting a target on my back for the government to come after me. I'm frustrated. I am angry. I am pissed.
Right.
And I don't want to be afraid of my government. My government should be afraid of me, to quote V for Vendetta.
I agree.
So things have got to change, and the more people that stand up and speak out, the better this situation will become.
Citizens here in the U.S. now are able to really directly connect and see that if we speak with each other, and you're speaking from a place of the UK, and I know Madgie, you reside in Canada, and you probably have your own, set of information and egregious things that's going on with your government leadership. A lot of us are going through some similar things, if not exactly the same, and suffering, from these things as the citizens that reside here, in a terrible way due to it. So it's like when we look at the bigger picture as people, as human beings, we all in our own way are going through something or the same thing simultaneously. And it is a reason for all of us to stand together not to only bring change and justice in our, country that we live in, but as human beings in this world that we reside in, all of us, no matter how we're separated or parted, you know what I mean? And so that's typically
remember 5th of November. Yeah. I think we'll stop short of trying to burn down Parliament. However, the UK is due a revolution. Because our British identity, our British values, our British justice system is disappearing before our very eyes. We should not be having blasphemy laws in the UK. Yet de facto Islamic blasphemy laws, I'm going to call it out and say it as it is, it's being introduced into the UK. People are now getting sentenced and going to jail and being charged for burning the Quran. And it's like, okay, I understand that some people will take offense to that, but that's the freedom of speech and expression that we're supposed to have in this country. No religion should be exempted from freedom of speech, regardless of how strongly you feel for your own religion. I know if I went outside right now in middle of city, got a Bible, King James Bible, let's say, and burned the hell out of that, no one would bat an eyelid. But we got to keep the same energy for every single religion. It's bad. It's bad here.
In the car.
Salma that tried to come in right now. She's one of the big trolls. Who said that I have an OnlyFans. Ron, as a Scottish man, because I don't know if Americans are aware, but in England right now, there are groups that they're learning that are, Pakistani men and stuff like that are basically adopting and teleporting little white girl to essay them. And this was going on for 10 years. And they're finding out that the police and a lot of people didn't do anything because they were scared of being accused of racism. So they let the little white girl be essayed by the Pakistani men because they didn't want for people to call them racist.
Wow.
So this is
horrible.
A fucked up situation, people. Okay? It is not being from... Those people are from 2 different continents.
Right.
Okay, they're from 2 different continents with a relationship to race that is completely different. You don't know about this, go check out the gang rooming thing. It's a big subject now because this is messed up. Can you imagine that they're letting people SA little girl 11 13 passing them around, but the police and everyone is doing nothing because what if they say that it is that we're being racist, it's persecution? What?
That is
so the little girl, they go,
stupid.
they report, they do freaking so much thing. People are reporting. Like one of the police women had to basically be a whistleblower for that situation to be like, what the hell?
Wow. All of that.
Do people in America, are they aware of that race problem in the UK? Probably not. Putting an American issue on a Scottish man who is in the United Kingdom, where this is going on right now, and people are being like, yo, you and your politic correctness that basically let all those little white girls be S8 is messed up. So who can blame them? Like literally, they justified not going after PDF because those PDF were ethnic and were doing this to little white girl, and it will look bad.
Right.
Like this is some messed up thing that's going on there. Okay, so I don't blame Ronnie for feeling.
something.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and since Can you imagine that? Like, just because of that, oh, I don't want to be called the racist word, so I'm gonna let those little white girl be S8. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Right.
This is
What
some
a
strange
reason.
morality.
Like, what if it was your daughter? What if it was somebody you knew? Then would you act? It's a
Exactly.
shame.
It's disgusting. So clearly, this is not something that will happen in America. Okay, just people letting ethnic men rape like essay little white girl, and then oh no, we're not gonna do anything because we don't want to be like this is not gonna be an American issue.
No.
But can you imagine that in some part of the world, like being
It's
called a
going
R
down.
word is like more bad in the head of someone than actually
Yeah.
in a PDF.
Those police officers or whoever that didn't act need to be thrown off the police force or, charged themselves because they knew what was going on and did nothing about it.
Ron is absolutely a a-hole when he wants to. I am so sorry. Are you talking about my Ron? Ron! Do you think he's a cuddly little bear? Ron is like, oh, you messing with me. I will stab you. Okay, this is Ron. Like I said, I sung a song for Shane that is called Class Sensitivity.
Oh yeah, I heard you
Hmm?
say that, and
Oh
I
yeah.
said to myself, "That's a HR term."
Shane is fucking old, by the way. 40s, 50s, no, 60s. Okay. This is an old person. Okay. My dad, one time I was dating an Asian man. My dad is in his 60s too. The thing he said, the thing he said about my boyfriend were so fucked up. And he was just laughing and being like, ha, 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 I love him. I'm like, you are the worst.